I was like, we're gonna have zombie animals in this movie. Why not?
It's a goddamn zombie tiger. That's crossing the line.
Opener Scott Flippin' Burgers. Was Dave a pro at this?
No. I mean, he did a pretty good job, but a lot of those burgers, if you look at them, are kind of like overdone and kind of warped. We were in there cooking burgers for quite a while. I was actually with the camera right back in the corner in this greasy, like, it was a greasy section of that little restaurant, and I was kind of pressed up against it, so.
Mr. Ward, how would you like to make $50 million?
This is the casino in Atlantic City that we dressed completely. Those are all our slot machines. And then I had this idea that, you know, Dave would have just put his guns in a crate and put them under his bed, so he just pulled it out.
Everything we did, all those people we saved, look what it got us.
And then that's Tig, of course, doing the gas. We built kind of a rooftop set, and she was just doing that in a lot of, and this is this cool big old warehouse in Albuquerque where we shot that sequence with the warehouse, the obligatory make the plan scene.
You ready to play?
Yeah, like these doors blew off, and one of them hit the side of the set and poked a hole in it. And if you were outside the set, some pieces of set like blew into the, thank God no one was injured.
There's $200 million in the vault beneath the strip.
What we did is we weighed the money, and we started to talk about the practicalities of moving cash at a scale beyond 200 million. You kind of start to need a forklift. And even that, in the case of this, there might have been $200 million in there, but we never were gonna be able to get a full $200 million out. Not with this amount of guys and in one trip. And then have enough room in the helicopter to carry that. So there's a lot of that math went on.
It's not too late to go back.
And then these containers were just real containers. We built a real wall out of containers. And then inside of the containers, there was like a snaky passageway where you could get from one side to the other. And then we rebuilt this sign kind of in proximity, and then that was all green screen back there. In this scene, well, these are 99% CG zombies because we just didn't have the makeup effects for that many people. But there are big sequences where we had hundreds of zombies, but that one was gonna be wide enough where it was always gonna be CG. And then here comes Cena, the queen zombie. And that's Spider, who's the general there with her.
They're not what you think they are.
Now this pool was in Atlantic City. We had found this abandoned pool, and I just love the idea that the zombies used the sort of pool area as their base. And if you look down in the pool itself, there's a bunch of bones and stuff from like when Zeus turns creates an alpha, he like bites them and throws them down, but clearly some of them didn't make it.
What you can hope for is to die.
Oh, scheiße.
Well, this is just pandemonium in a great way. It is definitely not Bruno Mars, though that would have been amazing casting. I love doing that shot of Dave running on the tables. That was a drawing that we had done early on. I had this idea of like, we should do him just running across the tables and shooting zombies. And there's Omari with his saw, reaping the harvest, as we like to say. If you watch the palm trees, when the napalm goes off, it's pretty beautiful.
What is this?
I think for a while, there was this whole sequence where like, there was like a zoo that, you know, had been overrun by zombies, and so there was a bunch of all sorts of different creatures. Obviously, we ended up with a white tiger in Vegas. That felt like the real, you couldn't get it wrong. My team, my crack visual effects team went down to Carol Baskin's place down in Florida, and they used the her tigers. This was before we even saw the show, to get the tiger's movements. Our tiger is named Valentine, of course. And by the way, it's a bad sign. It's a harbinger of doom, I think, for the human race.
You got to know when to hold